Let's see if I can make it through this one without sneezing. All right, writing linear equations in standard form. So we discussed how to write them in point slope intercept and point slope form. Now we're going to do it in standard form. One possible application of this would be possible combinations of objects. We'll do a little word problem at the end. And again, it's to get to that practice of rewriting the equations in different ways. All right, so here are the common core standards that we're going to deal with. FLE2 is the main one. That's the one we're going to quiz on. And then CD4, we're going to use that one also. It'll be kind of a retake opportunity for you. All right, so let's talk about what is standard form. Standard form is a linear equation when we write it as ax plus by is equal to c. All right, that's in standard form. Now, I've got a couple rules here. You're going to want to write these down. First, a cannot be negative. All right, we're going to assume make a positive. And we are also going to make a, b, and c integers. Okay, so we're going to make a, b, and c integers. So what does that mean? No fractions, no decimals. All right. All right. What does it look like? We put both variables on the same side, right? X and y, both on the same side. All right, so something that looks like that. 4x plus 3y is equal to 10. All right, integers. A is positive 4. Variables are on both sides. Standard form. 3y equals 2x minus 4. Not in standard form. Okay. All right, so how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to calculate the slope. Okay. This is the only way, all right, but this is one way. We're going to find the y-intercept, and then we're going to write it in slope-intercept form, and then we'll convert it into standard form, okay? Now, we could also do it in point-slope form, and we'll do that a little bit later, and then turn it into standard form. In the previous video, we did point-slope form, and then turned it into slope-intercept. So we'll practice the same idea, but put it into standard form. All right, so there's a line. Let's go ahead and let's write the equation of this line. So first, let's find the slope. Okay, so the slope of this line is going to be, let's see, we're going to go down 3, right? Negative 3 and over 1, positive 1. So it looks like my slope is going to be negative 3. Okay, next, let's find the y-intercept. Well, I can't really tell what it is right there. My guess is it's 4, but let's go ahead and calculate it anyway. Okay, so I know one of my points is 1 comma 1, so we'll do 1 is equal to actually I'm not sure you can see that very well, so let's do that. We'll do y equals mx plus b, so we'll do 1 is equal to negative 3 times 1 plus b. Okay, that's going to be 1 is equal to negative 3 plus b, so b is going to be equal to 4. Okay, so then we know that we're going to write this actually down, right, in our standard form. So, well, let me get rid of that real quick. So let's put it in standard form. Let's put it back into slope-intercept. So we got y is equal to negative 3x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to add negative 3x to both sides. So I'm going to end up with, okay, this I'm going to get over on that side. So 3x plus y is equal to 4. Okay, and then let's just go ahead and take our other point, 2, negative 2, and let's make sure that it works here. So if I put in 3 times 2 and I add negative 2, does it equal 4? Well, 3 times 2 is 6 plus a negative 2. Yes, it works. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that your points actually work on these things. All right, let's move on. Okay, let's take this and put it into standard form, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply everything by 3 in this problem. Because really what I want to do is, remember, I want to get rid of these fractions. So if I multiply everything by 3, okay, I'm going to end up with 3y is equal to negative 2x minus 15. All right, then we're going to move the variables to the same side. So I'm going to get that negative 2x, put it on the other side, becomes positive 2x, right? Or what I'm going to do is add 2x to both sides, would be another way of looking at it. So I got 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 15. There it is, standard form. A, right? 2, that's the A. A is positive. I have all integers, and the x and y are on the same side. Okay. All right, so you try these. Go ahead, take number 1 and number 2, and you write them into standard form. Go ahead. All right. Hopefully, once you did this one, you multiply by everything by 4. Okay? I got 4y is equal to 5x plus 8. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Okay? And then I'm going to make, whoops, I didn't finish that one. So then the next part is, if this is negative 5x plus 4y, I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. So I get 5x minus 4y is equal to negative 8. Okay? Because I want to try to make that lead coefficient, that a in this one, I want to make sure that that one is a positive. All right. Next one. Multiply everything by 2. 2y is equal to negative 6 minus x. Add the x to the other side. So I get x plus 2y is equal to negative 6. No fractions, no decimals. X and y on the same side. And I have a lead coefficient of a positive integer. I'm looking good. Okay. Next. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. Write the equation of a line in standard form that passes through the given points. So let's go ahead and take a look at our points. We got negative 3, 5. Okay, and is there another point on here? Nope. Let's put another point in here. 2, comma 2. All right, put those in there. So I get negative 3, 5, and 2, comma 2. All right, and it looks like it goes through 3, but I can't totally see. So we're just going to figure out our slope here. Okay, so we're going to do m is equal to negative 3. Let's see, it goes from 5 to 2. Right, so that goes down 3. And then from 3 to 2. And that goes up 5. So my slope is negative 3/5. Does that look right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Negative 3. Positive 5. Negative 3/5. Okay, that looks pretty good. So, now what am I going to do? You know, I'm not quite sure that that point looks like it's at 3. So I don't know the intercept. And with this fraction, and if that is a that intercept is a fraction, I don't really want to deal with that. So I'm going to use point slope. So I'm going to say y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, right? So I got y, and I'm going to use 2 comma 2. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 3/5 times x minus 2. All right, and now I want to put this in standard form. And in order to put this in standard form, the first thing I'm going to have to do is multiply everything in this thing by 5, okay? All right, see this? I'm going to multiply everything by 5. So I'm going to get 5y minus 10 is equal to negative 3 times x minus 2. Okay, now when I multiply this side by 5, it cancels this part out, the denominator. I don't have to multiply each of these by 5. It cancels this out. Okay, so now let's go ahead and simplify that right side there. So I got 5y minus 10 is equal to negative 3x plus 6. Okay, now I'm going to add a 3x, get it on this side, so I get 3x plus 5y, and then I'm going to add 10 over here, so that's going to be equal to 16. All right, and now I look like I have standard form. So let's see. Let's go ahead and plug my other point in. So let's see, if I plug negative 3 and 5 in, let's see if that works. So negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. That would be negative 9. Plus 5 times 5 is 25. Yeah, that works. It equals 16. Okay, rock on. Okay, now find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line that passes through the given point and write the completed equation. All right, so here we go. ax plus 3y is equal to 2. And here's the point, negative 1, 2. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to figure out what a is. What does that lead coefficient need to be? Well, if I know the point, which is x, and I know the other point y, then I can just go ahead and substitute in negative 1 and 2, and then just go through the steps here and solve my equation. So I get negative a plus 6 is equal to 2. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get negative a is equal to negative 4. So a is equal to 4. Then I need to plug that back in, and I get 4x plus 3y is equal to 2. All right, moving on. All right, let's say your class is taking a trip to the public library. You can travel in small and large vans. A small van holds 8 people and a large van holds 12 people. Your class could fill 15 small vans and 2 large vans. Okay, write an equation in standard form. Shows the possible combinations. Ooh, not a sneeze, that was a cough. And then we're going to graph the equation. Alright, and then let's list other combinations that we can do. Alright, verbal model. This is where you guys struggle. This is where the struggles happen a lot. So let's do the Manglish of this. Capacity of a small van. Capacity means how many people can fit in it, right? So how many people fit in a small van multiplied by the number of small vans. That's going to tell us all the people that are in the small vans, plus the capacity of a large van multiplied by the number of large vans. That's going to give us all the people that fit into the large vans. And when you add those together, you get all the people on the trip, which should make sense. So let's plug that in. 8 times S, the number of small, 12 times L, number of large, P is equal to the people on the trip. So since we know we could fit 15 small vans and 2 large vans, we can go ahead and we can plug in 15 and 2 for S and L to find the total number of people. So plugging those in and multiplying and adding, we're going to end up with 144. So we know that there are 144 people on this trip. Okay? So I can say 8S plus 12L is equal to 144. Right, and then we want to find all the possible combinations. Now, this thing is in standard form. 8S plus 12L is equal to 144. And the nice thing about the one that's in standard form is if C, right, 144, if this is a multiple, right, of 12, and it's also a multiple of 8, then I can really use my intercepts as a really nice really nice way of graphing this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say if I use 0 small vans, I'm going to put in, everybody's going to fit into 12 vans, right? Because that would be 144. And if I only use the small vans, I'd use 18 of them and no large vans, and that would fit all 144 people. Okay. Then I'm going to use that, and I can look across the graph, and I can find a couple other possible combinations, right? Yes, yes, yes. This is just the math part of what I just said. Then we can go ahead and when we look at this, whoops, too fast. I've got a couple other possible combinations, right? I've got this one right here, which if this would be 2, 4, 6, 6 small, and 2, 4, 6, 8 large. Right? And then another one at 12, 4, which would be 12 small and 4 large. Okay, and those are other possible combinations. All right, well, there you have it. Standard form in a small and relatively short YouTube video for you. All right, see you guys in class.